Hello! This video gives an overview of the exception determination process in CalSAAS. Please note that I am using a district admin user for the tutorial because they are an LEA user for their traditional schools and an MA user for their district authorized charter schools. This allows us to showcase all of the features of the exception process. Other LEA or MA users can only view features specific to their user role. We will start at the assigned schools dashboard. The dashboard is designed to give you an overview of your real-time monitoring numbers. The Assigned Schools dashboard gives you information in your workload. The All Schools dashboard will include all exceptions within your scope. In the Assigned Schools dashboard, first, the top portion shows the exceptions that need to be addressed, the ones that have been determined, and the total number of exceptions. The second section shows you the determinations that have been selected. Please note that many exceptions will be predetermined based on CalPADS data upon entering. The bottom section shows misassignments that credential analysts captured outside of the CalSAAS process and TPSL placements. These processes will be covered in a separate tutorial. Also note the filters on the left side of the screen, which allow you to refine the numbers displayed based on school type, status, and local education agencies down to the school site level. And lastly, note that all of the dashboard tiles are interactive, and clicking on a tile will bring you to a filtered list of exceptions. We're going to click on Total. This is what an exception screen looks like. Each exception is in its own row. You can see the educator's name and school on the left, and exception details on the right. Lastly, the determination is at the end. You may use the filters on the left to refine the list, You can also use the search bar to search for specific people, schools, exception types, or details. You may open an exception to view additional details by clicking on the green plus sign. So on the left, we have details about the educator and the school, obscured for privacy purposes. In the middle, we have assignment info, the setting, the course title, which is taken directly from CalPADS, and the broad subject. One exception represents multiple assignments to the same course, so we included the course count to indicate the extent of the exception. Clicking on the Educator Authorization link will show you all of the authorizations the educator held on Census Day. Now let's talk about determining exceptions. For this tutorial, we are using a district admin user because they act as a monitoring authority for district authorized charters and are monitored by their county office of education for their traditional schools. Because of this, we can use them to showcase all of the features of the exception process for both MA and LEA users. Keep in mind what each user will see is contingent upon their assigned role. Now look at the subheadings above the filters. They will help you navigate your exceptions by status. We are currently in the All section, which gives you a searchable list of all exceptions in the user's scope. If we click on Undetermined, we can see all the exceptions that need to be worked. This is where LEA users will do most of their work, but MA users can also use it to determine exceptions. On this page, the Edit button appears. If you select an exception, the Edit button will become active. You can select multiple exceptions for editing. After you're done, click Edit. Doing so will take you to the Update Exceptions window. So, as a district user or admin, when determining exceptions at traditional schools, you are going to update exceptions and submit them to your county for review. You can also select the determination from the drop-down, write a comment, or attach supporting documentation. Click Update, and that is it. The exception will be routed to the MA user's workload under the Review tab with the status of MA Review. Again, this is a district admin user, so they can see district authorized charters in their Review tab. As such, they can review exceptions as an MA. Let's select one and click Edit. As you can see, the actions change. In an MA user's update exceptions window, they can accept and complete the exception if they agree with the determination. They can return the exception to the LEA with a request for more information. Or they can change the determination and complete the exception. Since this is an LAO, we will return the exception and ask for supporting documentation. These exceptions will show up in the user's return screen with the status of return to LEA. From here, the user can look at the comments from the history area. This shows the user who modified it, the date, the new status, and the comment. If they choose, they can edit the exception and attach supporting documentation. Then click Update. The exception will then be routed back to the MA user and placed in the review area with the status of Return to MA. The MA can then access the attachment in the same history area showcased before. When an MA is satisfied, they can finalize it by selecting Accept and Complete, or if they disagree with the determination, they can change it and update. At this point, the exception is complete.